Letchworth State Park in western New York has been called the Grand Canyon of the East. But at first glance, the area surrounding Castile, New York, where the park is located, appears to be nothing more than a quiet town with rows of cornfields about 50 miles southeast of Buffalo. Yet for those who stop to look, listen, and explore the woodlands beyond this small, rural community, a breathtaking surprise awaits. On our recent family trip to New York and Canada, Letchworth ended up being the last big excursion before heading home. And it did not disappoint. Since Wednesday was such a full day, and we didn't get back from Toronto until nearly midnight, the first priority on Thursday turned out to be a slow, restful morning at the Airbnb. Once we recharged, it was time to travel to Castile, where a late lunch gained the majority vote. So we set out in search of a place to eat before entering the park, which wasn't quite as easy as we thought. Apparently, there aren't many restaurants in Castile, but after scouring the internet and talking with a local, we landed at the Parkside Diner with a kind and attentive waitress wearing a t-shirt imprinted with a Larry's Steakhouse logo. I don't know who Larry is or where his steakhouse is located, but it made me smile, since I suppose staying on brand isn't really an issue when Parkside Diner was the only restaurant in town. The delicious meal and great service propelled us onward, and soon the breathtaking state park captivated our attention. Established in 1907, Letchworth follows nearly 17 miles of the Genesee River as it drops through the gorge, over 3 major waterfalls, between cliffs surrounded by lush forests. As high as 600 feet in some places, the roaring falls resemble a smaller version of Niagara Falls in a natural habitat of beauty for every season. According to statepark.world, William Pryor Letchworth first viewed the gorge that would become this park from a train on the nearby railroad trestle in 1858. He was so struck by the beauty of the land that he began purchasing property near the Portage Falls the following year, eventually expanding his land holdings to over 1,000 acres by 1906. His Glen Iris estate, which he built on the land, became the core of what would eventually become Letchworth State Park. And his purchase of the land was crucial, as it halted plans to install a hydroelectric dam in the gorge that would have altered the flow of the river and diminished flows over the large waterfalls. Letchworth also enlisted the services of the famous landscape artist William Webster to design winding paths, roadways, bridges, and other features that would become hallmarks of the park. In 1906, he granted the Glen Iris and surrounding 1,000 acres to the state of New York as a public park, intending to deter commercial businesses from damaging the fragile nature of the gorge and woodlands, requiring that the land be managed by the American Scenic and Historic Preservation Society. Our visit to this natural wonder exceeded my expectations, and I'm glad we closed out our trip with such a memorable experience, rich in history and God-given beauty. Thank you for coming along for the journey. I hope it's been enjoyable for you as well.